Hi, welcome. My name is Tianne, and I'm with Do Yoga with Me, here to guide you through a gentle hatha flow for hip opening. I invite you to have a couple of blankets. They can really help to support the body in different shapes, allowing the body to go in a little bit deeper. So if you have a couple blankets, couple cushions, then I invite you to gather those, and we will begin. Enjoy. So let's begin. We take a blanket to the top of the mat so our head has a nice comfy place to rest. And the second blanket, you can place where it's comfortable for you. If you're in the child's pose, you might want it under your chest. You might want to sit on it for more support underneath the pelvis and the hips. If this is too much flexion in your knees, that's not comfortable for you, take both knees to the right side and come into a forward twist, okay? So choose what serves you, what's comfortable for you, and then just settle into this nice forward shape where we get a chance to just gently begin to open the hips and the low back area, getting a nice release before we go in a little deeper through our practice. So as you settle into your shape, just make any little adjustments to bring even 1% more comfort into your body. As your body feels the comfort, it will more easily release and open into the shape. And so as you settle in here, let's take our awareness to the breath. And so just notice your breath. I invite you to notice the cool air that enters your nostrils and the warm air that exits. And then noticing as the cool air enters your nostrils, where it touches your body, what expands, what opens. And as you exhale and release the breath, where do you feel that release in your body? And now as that cool air is coming in and touching your body, maybe invite the breath to flow all the way down to fill the belly. So that as you inhale, cool air in, flowing in, filling belly with breath. And as you exhale, empty belly of breath. Just inviting this. If it's not happening right away, no worries. Giving yourself an ocean of patience. Just to allow with your awareness to breath, your calming, relaxing of body, for the breath to flow in a little more deeply, a little more fully. And now begin to notice that as you inhale and invite the breath to flow into the belly, that you're creating a little more space in your belly. Just feel that sense of spaciousness that the breath creates. And if it's not flowing in there, you're not feeling it, just imagine the breath flowing in, filling the belly, creating more space in the belly. And if there's any area of your body where you're feeling a little tenderness, a little tightness, imagine your breath also flowing in there. Just as the breath flowing into the belly creates spaciousness in the belly, that it can do so in other areas of your body. That you can sense and feel this to the best of your ability and trust this is enough. For a few more breaths, noticing your breath flowing into belly, into another area of your body, creating space inside the body. This will be our practice today as we explore and open into the hips. We'll explore how the breath offers spaciousness in the body, opening up those tight, restricted places to create more space. And with that space, more mobility, ease of movement. So Before we begin to move the body a little more, let's take a moment. We'll bring our awareness now to heart center, whatever that means for you, bringing awareness more to your center. To offer an intention for the practice, this precious time that you've carved out of your day to take care of your body. What do you need from the practice? What is your desire? Set your intention. And with your next inhale, draw your intention deep into your body, your mind, and deepest into your center. And we'll carry this intention through our practice. Just as the breath carries us through our practice, this intention flowing on each breath. We're going to begin by moving from our child's pose or our forward twist into the sleeping swan shape. So we're going to take our right leg back behind us. We're just going to extend it behind and let our left leg go out to the side, maybe even the left foot go out to the side. And the blanket that is underneath you, it might go a little more underneath the right hip. It might go underneath your left knee. You can move it to where it's comfortable for you, where it supports your body being in the shape. And then you might turn your head towards your knee, or you might want to explore the rotation in your neck by turning your head away from your knee. Take a moment to turn your palms to face up, just to notice if you're bracing your body with your arms. We want there to be a softness in the arms, a nice heaviness in the torso that will invite more opening through the hips, through the low back. As you settle into the shape, make any adjustment you need for even 1% more comfort, knowing that this comfort will help your body to relax and open into the shape more deeply. And then notice your breath. Notice as that cool air enters your nostrils, where it flows in to fill your belly, creating space in the belly. And exhale, release, ease. That's for 3 more breaths. Feel the flow of your breath. Coming in, filling, creating space. Coming out, releasing, offering ease. One more breath here. Cool air flowing in, filling belly, creating space. And flowing out, releasing, offering ease. And from the sleeping swan shape, let's simply extend the left leg back behind us. So both legs are extended behind you. And this time we'll draw the right knee up. The left leg is extended back behind you. The right knee is open to the side, and maybe the right foot opens a little bit wider. You can place the blanket that's under your torso where it serves your body, creating more comfort, more support. And your head may be turned towards your right knee. If you'd like to explore that rotation in your neck, turn your head away from your knee, just if that's comfortable for you. You want to feel the sensation in the body, but in a way that you can breathe through the sensation. If you find your breath gets short, gets sticky, you're holding your breath, soften the shape, lessen the sensation, and feel the fullness of your breath. If you'd like, take a moment to turn your palms to face up so we can check that we're not bracing in the arms, that there's a heaviness in the torso, releasing to the earth, inviting the hips to open and release as well. As you settle into the shape, let your awareness return to your breath. The cool air that flows in your nostrils, flowing all the way to belly, filling, creating space. The breath releasing, offering ease. If there's any area that you are feeling some tenderness, some tightness, imagine your breath flowing into this space. Imagine, just as with the belly, as the breath flows in, that offers this spaciousness where you feel the tightness. And with that release of the breath, offering the ease. A few more breaths. If your mind has wandered, no worries, just bring it back home. Each breath, each moment, the chance to begin anew with this breath. Breath flowing in, filling, creating space. Breath flowing out, offering ease. Now from the sleeping swan shape, we're going to slowly slide that right leg back. Once again, both legs extended behind you. You can just bring your forehead down to rest on the blanket or on the back of your hands. And just to take a moment here. The length of your body, the length, the fullness of your breath. Breath flowing in, filling, creating space. Breath flowing out, releasing and offering ease. As you're ready, take your hands under your shoulders and just press up. So we come on to hands and knees. And we're going to take the knees nice and wide so they're out at the sides of the mat. And if that's not comfortable for your knees, you can take one or both blankets, whatever you need, to place under your knees. So there's some comfort there. In yoga, we have a lovely saying that says, no pain, no pain. Right? We want to feel sensation. We want to feel the body waking up, but in a comfortable way. So our hands are also going to be nice and wide, our baby fingers out at the sides of the mat. We're going to do some nice hip circles just to explore the opening that you've already cultivated here. So the blankets may be under the knees, or if that's not comfortable for you, out to the side. For myself, I'm just going to take them out there. I just want to feel a little more of the earth underneath me today. Take an inhale here at center. As you exhale, and take your left hip over towards your left heel, and then circle around to the right, and come on back up to center. And then follow your own breath rhythm, just circling the hips around, and going nice and slowly. Yoga is a very sensual practice. We feel what's happening in the body, and that guides us. And it's a journey of waking up the body, calming the areas that are tense and tight to release and open. If you'd like, you can go nice and close to the earth. You feel a little bit more in the hips and the shoulders. If If it's more comfortable, stay up a little higher. And if there's any other part of your body, maybe your head wants to move around with the circling, feel welcome. Explore the shape as it makes sense in your body. And as you feel ready, slowly and seamlessly changing direction, like you're moving through water and you don't want to disturb the water. You notice as you change direction, it might be a little stickier. A beautiful long breath, flowing with the movement, helping to smooth it out. Best you can, and trust this is enough. Just to explore the movement in the body in a way that makes sense for you. And taking one more circle around. We slowly arrive back up at center. And we'll take an inhale here. And exhale back to child's pose. And if, as we come to child's pose, you would like to bring the blanket under you for support, just go ahead and tuck them where it makes sense for you. Your head can turn to the side or directly down. And a few breaths here. Breath flows in, filling, creating space. And breath flows out, emptying, offering ease. As you're ready at the end of an exhale, let's slowly rise back up onto hands and knees. And from the hands and knees shape, we're going to take a squat. And so it might be comfortable for you to sit onto both blankets to take the squat shape. In the squat shape, we want our heels onto the mat, our arms inside the knees. If that isn't comfortable for you, it's not comfortable on the knees, you could simply sit all the way down and have your legs out nice and wide. Okay? And then we're going to bring our hands in front of our chest, palms together in that lovely namaste shape. And we're going to explore a little rotation through the neck in this shape. We're going to take an inhale here at center and feel as if the breath is traveling up the spine, creating more space between each vertebrae so we get nice and tall in the seat, especially through the neck area. And then as we exhale, we're going to just gently take our chin towards the left shoulder. Let's take a few breaths here. Go to where you feel a little bit of sensation. Going to keep pressing the palms together at center in that lovely namaste shape. And wherever you are feeling a little bit of tenderness or tightness, breathe into it. So breath flows in, creating space. And breath flows out, offering ease. At the end of your next exhale, slowly floating head back to center. Again, we'll take that inhale, draw the breath up the spine, nice space between each vertebra. And then slowly taking the chin over to the right shoulder. Just go to where you feel a little sensation, exploring the rotation in the neck. And offering your breath wherever you feel that sensation, some tightness. As the breath flows in, creating space. The breath flows out, offering ease. Lovely. Okay, let's come back at the end of your exhale. Just slowly bring your head back to center. We'll take one more inhale here, breathing up the spine, creating all that space between each vertebra. And exhale. Nice. Okay, let's bring the feet underneath us here. We're going to come into a forward fold. So we're just going to roll forward onto the balls of the feet. And we'll take our blankets out to the side. And then hands down onto the mat. And we're just going to take our feet about hip width apart. We're going to lean onto our thighs to begin. So if you're not doing an inversion, if you have any eye condition, heart condition, you just don't like inversions, just stay right here. So we are leaning on the thighs. We have our opposite elbows. We're going to check that the sides of the feet are parallel to the sides of the mat. Most of us will have our heels tucked in, so we're going to take them a little wider. And then just resting here for a moment, and if you would like to go a little bit further into the forward fold, keep your hands on your elbows, and then just slowly slide the arms down. So we're coming a little further. We're going to keep our hands on our elbows. You're going to feel the nice heaviness in your torso. So really helping to lengthen the spine here, weight of the torso folded forward. A little traction in the spine, helping us to lengthen and open in that space between each vertebra. And then you can also feel a nice heaviness in your head, and you can just move a little side to side. It weighs at least 10 pounds, so feel that nice heaviness as we're folded forward, offering that spaciousness through the whole spinal column, all the way up through the neck. Especially if you have any tendency towards headaches, really let your head hang. All those little muscles that support the head all day, holding that 10 pounds up. Let the weight of the head open. Release and soften all those muscles. Letting go. And then gently release the hands. Let the hands find the ankles. And we're going to slowly walk the hands up the legs. Just take your time. Come up in whatever way works for you. So you might roll up the spine. You might have more of a flat spine. Keep a soft bend in your knees. So we slowly rise up to standing. Yeah. And as we rise up to standing, we'll come forward towards the top of the mat. We're going to keep our feet about hip width apart. We'll just take a moment here. Let's bring our hands into Namaste in front of the chest and just take a moment. Feel yourself nice and comfortable, feet rooted into the earth. Lift your toes, spread your toes, and then set the toes down. And feel a nice equal weight disbursement through the feet, firmly rooted and grounded into the earth. And then we're going to float the arms up and reach up. And we're going to interlace the hands and point the first two fingers skyward. I'm going to turn the tailbone down towards the earth so you feel a little bit of a core engagement there. And take an inhale, and as the feet root down into the earth, reach the first two fingers up for the sky, but not the shoulders lifting up. The shoulders are nice and soft, and you can bend your elbows as much as you need so that you feel that softness in the shoulders as the arms extend skyward. We'll take an inhale here. As you exhale, let's curl over to the left, just until you feel that nice, sweet stretch in the right side of the body. You can bend knees as much as you need for comfort, bend elbows as much as you need for comfort. If the arms overhead feel like too much, you can bring the hands to the shoulders. You can bring the hands to the hips. We're just exploring this beautiful stretch in the right side of the body. And do it in a way that makes sense in your body. If you like, you can take your gaze up towards that right elbow. And then as we take a few breaths here, wherever you are feeling a little bit of tightness, or maybe tenderness, offer the breath. The inhale flows in, creating space. And the exhale, release, offering ease. The end of this exhale, slowly rising up. We're going to unlace the fingers, turn the palms to face away, and with the elbows bent, just draw some nice big circles beside you, like your favorite colors on your fingertips, and you're drawing these big, beautiful circles beside you. Yeah, just exploring a little rotation through the shoulder joints. And I'll take one more. Nice, big, wide circle, beautiful color. Circling around and then float the arms up. And this time we're going to lace them in the other manner, opposite manner. So if you're not sure, just go there automatically and then change it up. And first 2 fingers point to the sky. Again, lift the toes, root down into the feet. And the arms are extending up without the shoulders lifting up. So nice ease and softness through the neck. We'll take an inhale here at center. As you exhale, curl over to your right. Just go until you feel some nice, sweet sensation of a stretch on that left side of your body. And again, taking the option that makes sense for you. Might be hands on shoulders, it might be hands on hips. If you like, take your gaze towards the left elbow. Feel the feet firmly rooting down. And feel with that curling over. It's like the crescent moon is on your right side and you're curling into it, offering this sweet stretch to the left side of your body. Take one more breath here, breathing into any tight places, offering the spaciousness of the breath. And exhale, release and ease. Now rising back up at center, opening the hands up, turn the palms to face away, and that beautiful colors on your fingertips, maybe a rainbow of colors, drawing a beautiful circle beside you. Again, we got the elbows bent, so we're exploring the rotation through the shoulder joints, just loosening it up in there. And then we'll float the arms back up overhead. And once again, lace in the familiar manner, but we're going to take the palms to the sky. So we feel a really nice stretch through the forearms, through the fingers. We're going to again lift the toes, root down into the feet, and maybe take the gaze skyward, just to what's available for you. Maybe just imagine looking up to the sky, just so we can feel more lift, more opening. And maybe that crescent moon is behind us now and we're curling back. We start to feel a stretch through the front line of the body. And then we'll take one more deep, delicious breath here, drawing it in, filling any place that feels tight with beautiful, spacious breath. And right here, exhale, release. And then very slowly rising back up to center, unlace the fingers, soft bend to your knees. And we're going to journey back to the forward fold. So it might be a swan dive. The hands might walk down the legs. Do what makes sense in your body. As you come into the forward fold, again, if you're not doing an inversion, just lean your elbows on your thighs. And if that just feels more comfortable, right, lean your elbows on your thighs. If you'd like, hands can be to the ankles. We can even scoop them around to hug the calves and fold a little deeper, sending top of the head down to the earth and tailbone up to the sky. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Let's gently release. We'll bring our hands back to the mat and just toe heel the feet into their side by side or whatever's available for you. Soft bend to the knees and let's step the left foot back to the back of the mat and the left knee down to the earth. We're going to walk the front foot forward so the ankle is under the knee. Okay? We've got hands either side of the front foot. We're going to let the hips come forward so we start to feel a little stretch in this left hip flexor psoas, just to what's comfortable for you. Again, we want to be able to breathe into whatever sensation we're feeling. If we need to soften the shape, just bring the hips back a little bit. We're going to cupcake the hands. Your favorite cupcake with lots of icing is underneath your palms. So we've got our fingertips down onto the mat. Exhale here. Now as you inhale, draw the chest forward. Feel a little stretch in the chest, a little more opening in that left hip flexor. As you exhale, take the hips up and back. You can float the front toes and bring nose towards your knee, and you'll feel that through the right hamstring. Inhale, bring it forward and feel that little stretch in the chest and that left hip flexor. We inhale, we draw the chest forward. And then exhale, hips up and back. Float the front toes, nose to knee. And continue, follow your breath rhythm through the same movement forward and back. And just explore it as it makes sense in your body. Opening the hips, opening that right hamstring. Notice where you feel it's a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit tender, and you can hover your body there, wherever it is through the movement, hover your body there. Take a few breaths and imagine you could breathe right into the place where you are feeling a little tightness. Inviting the breath to offer that spaciousness inside the body. And then slowly go back into the flow and notice there's more ease of movement now. Very nice. Now, the next time you come forward, let's stay here in the lunge shape. The back toes are curled under, and we're going to float the back knee and put the back heel down. We're going to come into the warrior one shape. So we're setting up for our warrior one shape. We're going to lift and spread the toes and make sure that our weight is equally dispersed between both feet. They're firmly rooted down. Take an exhale here to gather a little strength in the belly. We're going to rise up. You might want to put hands on your thigh, on your hips, just to give you some support as you slowly rise up to the warrior one shape. Front knee is bent, back leg is long. If this still feels a little wobbly for you, walk that right foot out a little bit wider. Turn the tailbone towards the earth. So a nice chance to strengthen the legs, strengthen the core. We'll take a few breaths here. We're going to float the arms up. And as you exhale, let the arms come down. Feel that fullness of breath here. Inhale, breath flows in. And exhale, release out. One more. Inhale, breath flows in. Feel it creating that space inside the body. And exhale, release out. Good. Let's inhale the arms up and a little balance here. We're going to press into the front foot. We're going to lengthen the front leg and just turn towards the left side of your mat. Turn the toes in and the heels out. So we got a little pigeon shape in the feet. And then the arms are going to open out to the side, palms facing the sky. And if it's comfortable, take face to sky, heart to sky. Rumi says it's with our heart that we touch the sky. Here it is. Inhale. As you exhale, soften to your knees and fold forward. Let's keep the arms wide. Root down into the feet, strong legs, strong core, rising up. Turn palms face, heart to sky. And exhale, slowly folding down, keeping the arms nice and wide. Starting to feel like a bird, like an eagle flying. Inhale, rising up, face, heart to sky. And exhale, fold. We're going to stay low. I'm going to inhale, lift those arms, just the arms, a little higher. Feel a nice strengthening in back body. And then exhaling, let the arms softly release down. Take a peek that the toes are turned in and the heels out. And if you like, you can widen or narrow your stance as it's comfortable. We're going to dip into the hips a little bit more here. So we're going to softly bend the left knee and walk our hands back towards the left foot. And they're going to press into that left foot, walk the hands over to the right, bending the right knee, dip into the right hip. And now begin to follow your own breath rhythm, going side to side. The hands can stay on the earth for support. The arms can open to the side, a little more strength to back body. You can lift your torso up so it's more parallel to the earth, and you'll feel the core engage. So choosing what makes sense in your body for today, what feels good. And let's take one more side to side, a little dynamic exploration of the hips. And then slowly returning back to center. Take an inhale and lengthen your spine. And exhale and fold in. A little bend in the knees or a lot of bend, whatever's comfortable for you. And just let your head hang. If you're not doing an inversion, keep your hands on the earth and just lifting the torso up so head and heart are on the same level. One more breath. Inhale. Breath flows in, filling, offering space. And breath flows out, offering ease. At the end of your exhale, as you're ready, just lifting up so we can turn to face the top of the mat, the front of the mat. And we're going to put our back knee down to the ground. We're going to take the half pigeon shape. We're going to use our blankets. This is a great place to use the blankets. If you have a bolster cushion, you can use that as well for a little more support. Could be a couch cushion and bed pillow, whatever you've got handy. We're going to walk that right foot over to the left and come down. To make it more accessible, the heel comes to that left hip. We can take blankets underneath. If you feel you're at a diagonal, put blankets underneath the right buttocks. And that'll help you to square the hips a little bit more. If you'd like it to be a little more stimulation, a little more sensation, take your toes towards the top of the mat and the shin parallel to the top of the mat, okay? So adjusting so you feel sensation, but it's sensation you can breathe with. And then we're going to take a little flow here, making sure the breath is filling this shape. Take an inhale and lift the chest. And then exhale, just softly fold down. We're going to flow a few breaths. Inhale, rising up, open the chest. And exhale, release, and folding to earth. And one more. Inhale, rising up. Feel the spine get nice and long, chest open. And exhale, folding down. And then we're going to stay here. You can bring your arms in front, forehead onto the back of the hands or the arms. If you have another blanket or a pillow, it could go under your head. You can soften the back toes, letting them point away from you. And no doubt in this shape, you will feel an area of tightness or tension. The hips for most of us are quite tight from all the sitting that we do. So where you notice that tightness or tenderness, offer your breath. Imagine you could breathe right into that place. Breath flows in, creating space inside the body. Breath flows out, offering ease. Breath creating space from the inside out. You may notice it's a sense of blossoming into the shape. Right? It creates more space in the body, and the body opens into the shape from the inside out. Doing beautifully. 3 more breaths. Breath flows in, creating space. Breath flows out, offering ease. At the end of your exhale, slowly rising up. We're going to lean towards our right so that we can bring the back leg around. And we've got these blankets that we can continue to sit on and take the squat shape. And again, the squat can be done sitting down with the legs nice and wide, or we can be on our feet. Heels are on the earth. So very common to have the heels floating up. And if that's happening for you, to slip the blankets under the heels. And we take our palms in front of our chest in that lovely namaste shape. And as we take a couple of breaths here, as you inhale, imagine your breath traveling up the spine, creating more space between each vertebra. As you exhale, offering ease to shoulders, to eyes, to jaw. The end of your next exhale. We're going to slowly bring the hands down to the mat. We're going to take the forward fold. So just press into the feet to come into our forward fold shape. And we'll walk those feet in so they're about hip width or narrower. And we'll take one breath here, enjoying a nice forward fold. And again, a reminder that if we're not doing the inversion, just a nice deep bend in the knees, holding the elbows, and just lean on the thighs. Taking one more breath here, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. As you are ready, we're going to step the right foot back to the back of the mat and bring the right knee down onto the earth. And again, we'll walk that left foot forward so the ankle is under the knee. So now we're going to explore the right hip flexor and the left hamstring. We're going to cupcake the fingers, lots of icing on those yummy cupcakes, so we're up nice and high. Press into the finger pads, draw the chest and the hips forward until you feel that nice stretch in the left hip flexor. And then as you exhale, take the hips up and back, float the front toes, your nose towards your knee. And you're going to feel that in the left hamstring, back of the thigh. Inhale, bring it forward, open the chest, stretch that right hip flexor. And exhale, take it back, opening up into that left hamstring. And continue, follow your breath rhythm. And you might be going forward and back just a few millimeters, yeah? Any little movement will help to release the tight places. Create more spaciousness through the fullness of your breath. Noticing where you feel it's a little bit tighter and let your body hover there. And for a few breaths, imagine your breath breathing right into that tightness. Inhale, flowing in, creating space. And the exhale, releasing, offering ease. And then go back into the movement and notice that there's more ease of movement now. Maybe. It's the offering of the breath to release the tightness, offer the spaciousness, offering ease. And coming back to the front to the lunge shape. We're going to set up for our warrior one. So we're going to press into the ball of the back foot and put the back heel down on the ground. So you have a little sense of where we're headed. You might know already that you want to walk that left foot a little bit wider. We're going to lift and spread the toes on both feet so we can really feel that nice strong rooting action. Exhale here. And then as we rise up, use your hands as you need for support, hips or thigh. And as we rise up to the warrior one shape, feel the strength in your legs. Turn the tailbone downwards so you feel the engagement in the core. And then as you're ready, float your arms up to where it's available for you. So they might be on the hips, might be on the shoulders, might be up to the sky. And a little breath flows here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms float up. Nice. Exhale. Release. And more. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale. Release. With ease. Now we're going to take those arms up. We're going to leave them skyward. We're going to press into that left foot and lengthen the left leg. And then we're going to turn to face the right side of the mat. And we'll turn our toes in and heels out. So it's a little pigeon shape with the feet. And let the arms come down so they're level with the shoulders. Palms face skyward. And then if you like, turn your face, palms, heart to sky. Take an inhale here. Exhale, keeping the arms wide, slowly lowering the torso down towards the earth. Now, strong legs, press into the feet, rising up, face, palms, heart to sky. Exhale, slowly lower. Savor the strengthening in your legs, in your core, and back body. Root into the feet and rise up. Last one. Face, palms, heart to sky. And exhale, slow and steady, lowering all the way down. Keep the arms wide. Last bit of juice here. Just the arms are going to lift up a little higher. Back body strong. And then soften the arms down towards the earth. And check out here in our Parasarita shape that the toes are turned in. You might now want to widen your stance or narrow it. Here we're going to explore the hips. A little dynamic movement, so we're going to bend the right knee, walk the hands back towards the right foot. And then walking hands towards the left, bending the left knee, dipping into that left hip. And continue, follow your breath rhythm going side to side. And again, if you like, the hands can stay on the earth for support. You might float your arms out to the side like wings. You might lift your torso up so it's a little more parallel to the earth and you'll feel more core engagement with that. So doing what makes sense for you. Second time here, explore it. Just as it works for you. And taking one more pulse each side. And let me slowly come back to center. And at center, we'll fold it down into Parasarita and let the head hang. And then as you're ready, we're going to turn to the top of the mat and put that right knee down on the ground now. We're coming into the half pigeon shape on this side. And so we might be placing the blanket underneath the left hip. The left foot is going to walk to the right. And we bring that left hip down. And again, if we want to soften it, and I definitely recommend starting in the softer shape, we bring the heel towards the right hip. And if you'd like to have a little more sensation, then the left toes are up towards the top of the mat. We definitely want to move towards squaring the hips, not leaning back, as we want to open up the hips. So adjust it as it makes sense for you. And then those beautiful cupcakes underneath the hands. We're going to press into the finger pads, lift and open the chest, long spine. And exhale, bending the elbows, lower that nice long spine towards the earth. And again, inhale, rising up, fullness of breath, filling the body here. And exhale, slowly lower. We can do one more. Inhale, rising up. Feel the length in your spine, the opening in your chest, and try and maintain this as we lower down to the earth. So we're going to keep the spine long so the opening stays in the hips. We're going to bring the forehead down to rest. Could be on another blanket, a pillow, on the back of your hands. Make any adjustment that you need for more support, more ease, more fullness of breath here. Notice where you feel some tightness and tenderness. Offer your breath. The breath flows in, filling body. It might be the belly, it might be the tight place. Feel it creating spaciousness inside the body. And as you release the breath out, feel it offering ease. Three more breaths here. Your mind has wandered, no worries. Come back to this breath. The end of your next exhale, slowly rising up. And as you rise up, let's lean towards the left side and bring the right leg around. We'll take the blankets out from underneath us and just bring the legs in front. We're going to come down to lay on the earth. Good news. So you might want to bring one blanket to the top of the mat so your head has a nice comfortable place to rest. The second blanket we're going to open up so it's a little bit wider. It's going to come underneath the legs. So we're going to open it up like a linguine noodle, I think that is. And we'll just have it at our side there. So to come down onto the earth, you may want to come from the side, or have a little bonus core action in here. We'll take our hands behind the thighs or out to the side. We'll take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we'll very slowly lower to the earth, savoring the strengthening in the core. We come to just hovering above the earth, and then slowly all the way down. And as you come down, just adjusting that blanket that's under your head, so it's nice and comfy there. And the knees are bent. So just take a moment to adjust onto the earth in a way that's comfortable for you. If you'd like a little more support underneath your spine, you could place another blanket there. Don't be shy with the blankets. The more comfort you create in your body, the more it can release and let go of the tension it tends to hold. Okay. So as you feel ready, we're going to draw the knees into the chest. And just give the knees a little hug in and keep the knees side by side. We're going to circle the knees around whatever direction you like. And we're going to press the tailbone down into the earth. You might feel a nice little massage there. And then as you're ready, going in the other direction. And then slowly coming back to center. And now let's take the knees nice and wide. So right knee towards right shoulder, left knee towards left shoulder. And again, we'll start to circle around. Doesn't matter which direction. The knees don't have to go simultaneously. They can, in the same direction, they can go in different directions, but just circling the knees around with them wider so you'll feel a little bit more in the hips. I'm going to try and keep the tailbone rooting into the earth. And then going in the other direction. Yeah, good. And then slowly come to stillness. And then if you like, we're going to send the feet skyward. We can hold behind the thighs. So it's the happy baby shape, a favorite. Nice to have the happy baby. You can wiggle your toes. If it's accessible, you can take your hands up to the soles of your feet. And if you do that, you want your ankle over your knee, just like in the lunge shape. Ankle over the knee, under the knee for lunge shape, but over the knee for happy baby. And then we draw the feet down, taking the knees towards the earth. So hands might be on the soles of the feet or on the back of the thighs. And we'll just take a few breaths here. Again, really nice to give a little wiggle of the toes. You might circle the ankles, just whatever feels good here. And then take one more breath in. Breath flows in, filling, offering space. And breath flows out, releasing, offering ease. And we'll bring the knees back together. We're going to take that long blanket. If you have a bolster, it could be that or a pillow. And we're going to place it underneath the knees. I'm going to open up the arms out to the side. The feet can be a little about hip width or a little narrow, wherever it's comfortable for you. Take an inhale at center. As you exhale, drop the knees to the left, maybe chin rolls to the right. And then back up to center, knees to the left, maybe chin rolls to knees to the right, chin to the left. And then begin to follow your own breath rhythm. Knees going side to side. Your head might be still at center, or you might take it side to side as well. Just enjoy a nice little unwinding at the base of the spine. And the next time the knees come to the left side, let them come all the way down. And we want to support the top leg, especially if you have any low back issues. That top leg is quite heavy, so you can take part of the blanket and place it underneath the top leg for support. And you might want to explore chin towards the right shoulder, just enjoying a nice, easy twist shape. And noticing any area of tightness, tenderness, and offer your breath. Breath flows in, filling, offering space. And breath flows out, releasing, offering ease. At the end of your next exhale, we're going to slowly bring the knees up to center. So I'm going to take the blanket out from between the legs. You could use your left hand to help the knees come up, and just take a moment to adjust to the midline of your mat, adjust the blanket. And then as you're ready, we'll take the knees over to the right side. And again, we want to support the top leg so it's not pulling on the low back. Twists are very beneficial for the spine, but we want to have that top leg supported so it's not pulling and torquing on the low back. Instead, it's helping the low back to release and open. And maybe the chin is going to roll to the left shoulder. And as you settle into the shape, you might find sometimes it's nice to snuggle the bottom hip underneath you a little bit more. So you could play with the shape until you find that sweet spot where you feel a little sensation that you can breathe with and feel with your breath, offering that space in the body The body opening into the shape from the inside out. One more breath here. Breath goes in, filling, creating space. Breath flows out, releasing, offering ease. And then as you're ready, at the end of your exhale, coming back up to center. Again, you can help that right leg with your right hand and bring the blanket across. And we're going to take soles of feet together. And you could take the sides of the blanket and turn them under so you feel them some support behind the thighs. You can turn your tailbone towards your heels so we feel a nice spaciousness through the hip joints, through the belly. If you like, you can take your arms all the way overhead and hold the hands or just cactus your arms or hold elbows. And then you feel this nice spaciousness through the torso, the chest, the front of the shoulders, the armpits even. And settle into this shape for a few breaths. Feel the breath flowing in. Maybe it's to the belly, so open in the belly here. Maybe the breath is flowing in to fill the belly, feeling all that space in the belly. And then exhaling out, releasing, offering ease. Maybe there's another area of your body where you're feeling some tightness or tenderness, and imagine the breath flowing in there. Feeling the call of Savasana. We take a few more breaths here in this wide open shape. As open as the outer body is, more spaciousness, inner body with the fullness of your breath. One more. At the end of your next exhale, slide the arms down so we can open up the blanket. We're going to extend both legs out. We're going to keep the blanket underneath the legs. We want to have a little bit of flexion in the knees. So if you'd like it a little lower, you can just use one foot to move the blanket down so it's right under the knees. You can keep it towards the thigh, just what makes sense for you. Let the feet, the legs be a little wider than the hips. Again, you might want to take a moment. You can just turn tailbone towards the heels. It'll just get a little more length at the base of your spine. You can shimmy the shoulder blades underneath you and then open the arms. They're a little wider than the shoulders, so it's like a star shape. Right? We're exploring space in the body, so our Shavasana may be a little wider than usual. So we can feel a little more invitation for the body to really blossom or open from within. So as you feel the breath flowing, as you feel the invitation of the inhale to create space in the body, feel that spaciousness in your feet, and your toes, and your big toes. Imagine you could breathe into your legs and feel the breath flowing in, creating more space in the legs and the knee joints and the shins. As you inhale, imagine the breath flowing into the pelvis, the hips, the buttocks, offering space. The exhale, ease. Imagine the breath flowing into the low back, offering space, and then ease. The mid-upper back breath flows in right between the shoulder blades. Breath flows in, creating space. And exhaling, offering ease. Out to the hands, right out to the fingertips as you breathe in. The breath fills the thumbs, the palms, spacious. Exhale, ease. In through the arms and the shoulders, those big shoulder heads. Breath flows in, creating space, filling, opening. Exhale, releasing. Bring ease. Through your neck and head, breath flows in. Offering space in the lips and the eyes and the cheeks and the tongue. And exhale, offering ease. Breathing into chest. Breath flows in, spaciousness in your chest, in your heart, and lungs. Exhale, offering ease. And back home into the belly, breath flows in, creating space. And exhale, offering ease. Whole body simultaneously, breath flowing in, creating space. And exhale, offering ease. Rest in the spaciousness inside your body, in the ease. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Rest. Spaciousness and ease. Please feel welcome to rest here for as long as you like. And when you feel ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Find a little outer body movement. And circle through your ankles and wrists. Float your arms overhead. Bring the legs together. Do a nice long stretch, like a whole body yawn. And then drawing knees into your chest, like a whole body hug. And you can rock forward and back to come up to seated or roll to your side. Just press a hand into the earth and come all the way up to seated. As you arrive back up to seated, just taking a moment here. And just noticing how you are being in this moment, the offering of the practice. A little more awake in the body, a little quieter mind. Maybe a calmer presence within, maybe a little more connection within. Just notice. Let me bring the hands up together in the Namaste shape, and I thank you so much for joining me today in your practice. Namaste.